Thanks for clicking on this video. Welcome to Brian's Funhouse. We're going to do a response video to the Vinyl Tag 2025 from That Green Vinyl Guy. Is he green because he's new to it, or is he green because he's rich? Who knows? But he did it early, and this is the official one. We're going to go, what does he have, 20 questions or so? And we're going to go through that right away and start with it right now. After this, I'm actually going to make a Vinyl Tag soundtrack album thing, because that one came out too. So I'm only going to do those two, because that's what I'm going to do. All right. Favorite 2024 purchase, which is this previous year. I showed the Rush set that I got 1989 to 1996 previous in a video. I've also shown this previous in a video, but I didn't want everything to be all Rush. So I'm going to go with my favorite purchase of this year was Black Sabbath Anno Domini 1989 to 1995. Kind of almost the same year as that Rush set. And it's got 4 albums. Had this Cross, TYR, Forbidden, and Cross Purposes. These are the Tony Martin era Black Sabbath albums. They finally, you find them on CD, you had to import the vinyl, this and that, whatever. Finally got a nice box set of them, and happy. I like Tony Martin, and I like his vocal work done in Black Sabbath. Is it true Black Sabbath? I don't know what's true anymore. The world is crazy. The best 50-year album, so the album that turned 50 in 1974, what's the best one? Well, for me, I love Rush, and that's why I didn't want to show Rush before, because I didn't want to have this video all about Rush. Rush's debut, of course, the only album with not Neil Peart on it, but John Rutsey playing the drums up. And this is more of a bluesy. If you're not familiar with this one from Rush, it's less prog, obviously, and more bluesy. They love Led Zeppelin, and it comes through on this. 8 great songs. It's got Working Man on it, so yeah, that's my favorite from 1974. Number 3 is a thing that kind of defines a genre. And for me, one of my favorite genres is pop punk. So pop punk, you got to go Green Day, Kerplunk. It's great. This is perfection. If you like pop punk, perfection. Another one, an artist you miss dear. Oh no, the best band. Number 4, the best band from your home country. I'm from America. You probably noticed the accent. And Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick is my favorite band. They're from Rockford, Illinois, just an hour away from the Chicago area here. And Cheap Trick, this is the Epic Archive Volume 1, 1975, 1979. I have 1, 2, and 3 of these, and it shows you just why Cheap Trick is the best American rock band. For anyone that says Aerosmith, you're wrong. Cheap Trick. You can't say Eagles either. You can't say the Grateful Dead either. Come on. Just my opinion, but I'm right. Artists you miss dearly. Man, I miss a lot, but I would say Freddie Mercury. Queen is a big thing now. Who'd have thought the group Queen would be huge with kids today? The reason why I say Freddie Mercury is I think he was an interesting soul, a great frontman, and towards the end he was trying to sing with like opera people and stuff. So it would have been interesting to see what he would have done. Would he went totally away from Queen, or kind of did solo albums every once in a while and come back to Queen? Who knows? We miss him. He was a great guy. Number, what is it, 6, the best live record. I would have said Kiss Alive 2 a long time ago. I still like it, even though it's not a lot live. But recently, Record Store Day put this out to Get You Live, 1977. Yes, it's Cheap Trick again, but this is a phenomenal album, phenomenal live album. All the early stuff. It's just, you talk about band firing on all cylinders. A young, hungry, angry, good power pop, punk, whatever you want to call them. Cheap Trick. Fantastic rock and roll on that album. I'm married. But say that she dumped me, and official question is, how do we phrase this? Your partner just dumped you. What album are you putting on? Of course, it's best probably to get angry and just put on some Slayer, but emotionally I'm probably going to want to go through it, and this would drain me. I even said to my wife, I'm like, is there any chance you're breaking up with me? Because that would, if you did it on video, I would get the views. But no, she said, no, I still love you. So, but I would do Rufus Wainwright Want One. And the reason why I would do this is a very emotional album, and it got me through an emotional time. It actually was on my playlist a ton when I met my wife. And our first kiss, when we were just friends going into the boyfriend-girlfriend zone, was to Beautiful Child on side 2 here. So it would remind me of her and me and all that stuff, and I would break it and be like, ah, but it's all good. She said we're all good, so we're all good. What a weird question that was, but a good one. The best sounding drums on an album, number 8. I always tell people I'm a drummer. When I go in the studio, I'm like, hey, picture Jesus Lizard, if they were a pop punk band, that's how I want my drums to sound. Drums on Jesus Lizard albums, especially this one. This is what, 1991, 92? Remastered by Steve Albini. This is the remastered version. I don't care what people say what year it is. I don't think it matters. But now I'm being anal and I'm trying to find out. 92. What was his name? Mac Daly was on the drums for this one. And I tell you, this is just powerful drums. The snare sounds great. The floor toms sound good. The tom-toms sound good. And really, drummers never get the credit that they deserve. Favorite artist who's a member of 2 or more bands. Could have went with Alec Jorgensen. He's in Ministry and tons of other bands. But I went with Mr. James Patrick Page. He was in The Firm. Also in this band called Led Zeppelin. I don't know if you've heard of him. But The Firm, he was in. And, you know, he's tons of solo work and other stuff like that. But yeah, Jimmy Page. Who's better, the Beatles or the Stones? Years ago, I would have said the Rolling Stones. And then I got into a kick of the Beatles. It took me a long time to get into the 4 kids from Liverpool. And I don't like early Beatles. I don't like Want to Hold Your Hand. Never got into that stuff. I like the trippy, more later years Beatles. But if I'm going with, if I was only could play one or the other, even though a lot of the newer Stones albums are kind of like, but the classic old Painted Black, and for sure, this album, Let It Bleed, I gotta go Rolling Stones by a hair. I mean, because they each got crap for having long hair, but Rolling Stones by a hair. What are we on next? Man, I took a long time with that Jesus Lizard one. I found a bag of weed. I really never was a pothead, but what are you going to listen to? I don't know. If I found a bag of weed, I'd probably sell it to one of my pothead friends and then buy an album. But if I had to smoke it and listen to something, I guess Pink Floyd Animals. Why not, right? I went to see Pink Floyd in 87, 88, and when the Inflatable Pig came out, you talk about high people, stoned people off their rear ends, like trying to touch this pig. It was awesome. Good times. An album from the 80s you still listen to. I like a lot of the 80s stuff. Culture Club, Berlin, Flock of Seagulls, but I want to go with Men at Work, Business as Usual, Who Can It Be Now, Down Under, and all the other songs are great. You know, this is a band that unfortunately gets lumped in, you know, their 80s hits, but they had a lot of other great songs. An artist whose political stance soured you. This is going to be a lot of people's pick, probably. And I don't care. You could believe whatever you want to believe. You just don't got to be a jerk about it, especially when you're probably wrong. But I'm going to go with Ted Nugent. I've actually owned a few Ted Nugent albums. One of my first 45s was Wango Tango by Ted Nugent, and I sold that, and I sold his other albums. He just became a jerk. But my primary reason why I dislike Ted Nugent is his hunting stance. Yeah, it's pure meat. We put a lot of chemicals in food. It's probably a much more wholesome meal. But he's cool with hunting this anything. And I think when you hunt predators, research has shown, you take the wolf out, screws up your ecosystem, you hunt the mountain lion, you got too many deer. So his stance that everything needs to be hunted and we're just here to command all the animals, it's just stupidity, and it's not factually based. So there, Ted, you could suck it. Show a favorite record label. Well, growing up, not growing up, I guess, being in junior college years, one of my favorite labels was Touch and Go. Also, Quarter Stick was a branch off of this. Pegboy, The Digits, Jesus Lizard, tons of other great bands, and I heard that they treated the bands good. That's important. So yeah, Touch and Go would get it for that. A run of 3 great singles. This is, people may say, oh, it's kind of cheesy, it's an easy pick, but it really is. I mean, Synchronicity, I wrote down what it was. Every Breath You Take was May 83. Wrapped Around Your Fingers was July 83, and then King of Pain was August 83. Monster songs. I was alive, I was 12, and let me tell you, between MTV and radio airplay, as much as I loved the Police, I got sick of them. I would turn the dial. I didn't want to hear any song. It took me years to be able to re-listen to. My favorite song off of this is actually Synchronicity 1 or 2. Is it part 2? It's the weirder one that wasn't played a lot. But yeah, so it took me a long time, and that's when you know stuff is overplayed, when it just pisses you off, or you don't even want to hear it anymore. You don't even want to see this album. But now, I love it. I adore it. So yeah, 3 monster singles. Let's see. RSD purchase that you actually still listen to. I listen to all my RSD purchases. I don't purchase them because I think they're going to be valuable or they look great, or I purchase because I like them. Every year I find myself purchasing less RSD stuff because I think it's just a lot of crap. But live in 1980, Devo, yeah, I'm going back to this all the time. Love Devo, and I love to hear them live. You can be reincarnated as any artist, dead or alive. Who's it going to be? You know, I like to say he's cool, even though I probably would want to be 6'2" or 6'3" to be tall finally. He was a shorter lad, but you talk about cool. Bon Scott, that voice, the swagger. He's one of the first people I knew that had like tattoos on him, when way tattoos were edgy, before stroller moms had like, you know, tattoos all over them. But yeah, I mean, look at this guy. Who wouldn't want to be this? You're looking at him. You're like, hell yeah, I want to be that guy. He's a singer. And as a drummer, I would love to be a singer. And, you know, yeah, you get to be out front. You get to do the lyrics and all. I mean, yeah, that would be cool. So, yeah, Bon Scott is my answer to that one. I think we just get an album that you are never tired of. Second to last answer. For me, it's in my top 5. It's in my island. I would bring it. Pop punk perfection. Screech and Weasel, My Brain Hurts, from 1991 on Lookout Records, another great album label. But Screech and Weasel, My Brain Hurts. If you like rock, punk, power pop, whatever, this is the perfect freaking album. I love it. I thought also there was something about 3 lines of, what 3 lines of lyrics do you like? Oh yeah! The number 18, I skipped it over. The best 3 lines of a song. Okay, this is from this. My Brain Hurts. It's called The Science of Myth. The Science of Myth. And it's about religion and stuff. And for some people, it's a touchy subject. But let me just read you. Mr. Ben Weasel actually did some great lyrics on that one. See the world. Oh, take 2. See, half the world sees the myth as fact, well, it's seen as a lie. But the other half, and the simple truth, is that it's none of that. Reading it back doesn't sound good, but trust me, listen to Science of Myth and Screech the Weasel. It's hard to see what 3 lines, it's punk, it goes fast. But see, half the world sees the myth as fact, well, it's seen as a lie by the other half, and the simple truth is that it's none of that. It's I liked it. You're probably watching like, oh. And last but not least, number 20, because I knew there was a 20, it is share your favorite VC channel. I watch a lot of Brendan Snyder, and I'm hoping to go to that album store that he frequents in New Jersey in July of 2025. But anyway, he does a lot of CDs and some vinyl. So for vinyl, I always throw it back to the same 2 first people that I watched a lot, and that's Vinyl Richie and Robert Fitton. Also, the blonde lady. Hold on. Melinda Murphy. Named it. Yeah, so I love all. I mean, I always say I watch more YouTube and I watch more people talking about albums than any kind of network TV or cable TV or streaming YouTube. I just watch YouTube on my TV all the time. So thank you for watching. Go check out all the other Vinyl Tag videos and have a great day.